Hi Elvis fans. So on January the 8th in Mississippi, Tupelo, in a small 2-bedroom house that Vernon Presley had built, Elvis Aaron Presley was born at 4:35 a.m. And the doctor that delivered the twins was Dr. Hunt, a very well-known doctor in this area that delivered hundreds of babies. Just 35 minutes earlier at 4 a.m, Jessie Garon Presley was born. Gladys Love Presley had given birth to twins, and unfortunately Jessie Garon Presley was stillborn on a cold Tuesday morning in Mississippi, Tupelo. Could you even imagine how this felt for Vernon and Gladys? Such a traumatic, horrific experience that they went through together. And as the firstborn baby, Jessie was named after Vernon Presley's father, and Elvis was given his name after his father's middle name, Elvis. Here's a story about how Elvis was named and about a spelling mistake that happened. Let's hear what Marty Lacker has to say.
Dr. Hunt, who had delivered so many babies in East Tupelo, asked Vernon what the child's name was when Elvis was born, and
Vernon Presley could never have known that he was giving a name to the most famous man on the planet that had ever lived.
Vernon, for some reason, always pronounced Elvis's name Elvis and left the L out. He said Elvis Aaron Presley, and that's what Dr. Hunt wrote down.
That's quite interesting to know, that the way Elvis's name was spelled on his birth certificate was incorrect. I never knew that.
E-V-I-S. Aaron spelled with 2 A's because that's normally the way Aaron is supposed to be spelled.
And what I've learned is that Aaron is a name from the Bible. As we know that Vernon and Gladys were very religious people, and Elvis Presley went on to be a very religious man.
Vernon couldn't spell, and when he went to register the birth certificate, he didn't know it was 2 A's, and he just said 1 A.
I think it was quite common in the 1930s for people not to be able to read and write very well, especially if you were from a poor neighborhood.
And in '66, I had asked him, how come it's 1 A when, Aaron in the Bible is 2? And he looked at his daddy and he said to me, he says, well, back then most people couldn't spell. He looked at his daddy and he said, from now on all the legal papers, I want 2 A's.
So that's Marty Lacker explaining how Elvis's sudden realization that his middle name was spelled incorrectly and needed to be spelled with 2 A's. And I think Elvis instantly just thought, no, I want my name spelled the correct way. And this actually changed history.
And that is why there's 2 A's on the plate over his grave.
So overall, quite an interesting video from Marty Lacker explaining the word Elvis and how Vernon, the way he would pronounce the word, that affected the birth certificate being written up, and also the fact only 1 A was used in the birth certificate. Very interesting, and these documents are now very valuable. These documents, they sell for hundreds of thousands of pounds. Thanks a lot, everyone.